5 key factors for XRP's price hitting $5 in the next 5 months. That's what we're going to talk about in the video, guys. Came across a really cool article that's breaking things down, and this is how XRP's price could get to the $5 level in the next few months. And we'll dive into it, give you guys our thoughts and our opinions surrounding what the article says if we disagree with things. Want to hear from you guys too down below. Make sure you guys hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel. Crypto is down here this weekend, but I'm feeling really good. I think there are great opportunities to right now to buy on spot and for long-term positions. Leverage trading right now is a little tough. Obviously, everyone's a little different in terms of their risk appetite. If you guys do want to leverage trade, I've got all those platforms down below: Buy2Fi, BTCC, and Crypto.com. They are a huge sponsor as well. So 3 great platforms. Got the free newsletter for you guys as well. This is totally free. Sign up right now. Name and email is all we need. Hit submit, and you're locked in, ready for these newsletters that'll be flying your way here in no time. So let's get into the story. 5 key factors in XRP's price hitting $5 in the next 5 months. So before we get into it, drop in the comment section below right now, guys. Do you think XRP hits $5 by the end of the year? As a matter of fact, give me your end of the year price target for XRP. I'm very curious to hear where my audience thinks the price of XRP is going. Drop that comment down below. I want to hear from you guys. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe, do all that great stuff. Let's talk about it, guys. Ripple Labs continues to expand its business as corporations and even the U.S. government move to add XRP to their digital asset portfolio to balance out their treasuries. We are seeing some treasury companies actually come out and build on XRP as well. The SEC has done a complete 180 after Trump's reelection. The SEC has shifted from an aggressively and relentlessly hostile stance on crypto and toward Ripple to one that is cooperative and helpful. In addition to that, the company's making enormous strides forward in Q3 2025 to expand its borderless payments business for large transactions between big institutions. And XRP has outshined the stock market here in July. And it's a very bullish forward view for XRP prices as August here begins, especially compared to returns from stocks like the benchmark S&P 500, which has been good by the way as well. July was a big month for the U.S. stock market, grew to historic record high level again on Monday, along with the NASDAQ composite. That's despite worries over Trump's tax reforms and global tariff policies. But XRP holders made significantly greater gains than U.S. stock shareholders in July. The S&P delivered 2.67% gains in 30 days. XRP went up 42% from 220 to 313 on July 29th. It's worth noting, though, that both asset classes slashed some of the gains as July ended, especially as we shifted here to August. Both the assets came down a little bit. So let's get into it, because Altcoin Daily, in an update posted on July 25th, said he believes XRP is going to $5 and beyond because it's not merely a currency, but it's crucially important digital infrastructure for global payments. He said that Ripple's new stablecoin, RLUSD, launched in December, will be a primary driver of XRP's market gains for the rest of the cycle. I do agree with this, and I think the one big thing that a lot of people forget about with Ripple is tokenization, guys. They're partnered up with Ondo. I talked about this in my most recent XRP video, and that is directly tied with BlackRock. So in a lot of ways, XRP, Ripple, alongside Ondo and BlackRock, all supporting each other. So RLUSD is reason number one why he thinks Ripple could get to $5 and beyond here in the next 5 months. And he was basically talking about XRP being a relatively scarce asset, supply limited token, and the growth of RLUSD increasing the demand for XRP while leaving it in shorter supply. Keep in mind, Ripple has a lot of XRP locked up in escrow. So that supply is finite, the part of the supply that's out there, to the public. Meanwhile, as online traders use more XRP to move stablecoins around the blockchain, at least one corporate finance department is raising $20 million in funds to pile up an XRP treasury. There's been rumors on a few more too. And we see huge potential of XRP Miracle CEO James Lee said you can blame the company's big strategic pivot on Trump and Congress for creating more regulatory clarity around blockchain with the Genius Act. They believe in XRP and how it reduces the cost of cross-border payments. So this could be another catalyst. XRP corporate treasury race is beginning. Number 3, Ripple pump incoming from the U.S. stockpile. So the White House is set to unveil National Crypto Stockpile Report. And that report came out. They didn't talk directly about a Bitcoin strategic reserve or stockpile, but I do think that is coming. I think Trump is probably in the mind that, you know, those sort of things can be done once the Clarity Act is pushed through, right? I don't think we're going to have the stockpile and a Bitcoin, stockpile too separately until the Clarity Act is pushed through. Then I see both ETFs, stockpiles, all kind of taking shape. In addition to corporate treasury interests, it says the U.S. government wants its hands on XRP. In fact, Trump specifically named XRP as one of the assets the White House wants to hold in trust for Americans. The White House's crypto report on blockchain and the National Digital Asset Stockpile released on July 30th provided solid support for XRP price levels. Meanwhile, Americans applying for federal housing loans are now permitted by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to list crypto like XRP as financial assets while holding them without selling them for cash instead. Then we've got Ripple new U.S. patent, a threat to SWIFT. This came from Real World Asset Watch List. So Ripple secures U.S. patent for trust-based instant cross-border payments, no full network confirmation needed. XRP might slowly replace SWIFT, offering a faster and more efficient alternative. So I don't know if they're going to completely replace SWIFT anytime soon, but if they take some of that volume away, even a fraction of it, this is going to be huge for the price of XRP. So RippleNet and XRP Ledger, global borderless automated payment and financial networks across the pond from the U.S. Ripple's expanding its business in Europe as well. They're already, really strong in the Middle East and in Asia, and now they're expanding into Europe quite quickly. In July, a representative from Ripple told journalists the company is applying for a markets in crypto assets license, or a MiCA license, in Europe for regulatory compliance there. Consequently, the company will find it easier to expand its operations in the Eurozone. Ripple got a U.S. patent, that patent approved in July, so that's big. Running the math on it, if XRP payments using RippleNet and XRP Ledger capture 14% of Swift's market share for daily transaction services, XRP's price could go to, it says, Mars and Jupiter. That's kind of crazy, right? Bitcoin bull run to 150 to 200K in 2025. So this is the other catalyst for XRP, and I think for the rest of the altcoins. We're still in a Bitcoin-driven market right now. So we're still really waiting for that rotation and that full rollover. Bitcoin's back to 61.5% dominant. The altcoin season index down to 40. Okay. And so we're still waiting on this big, transition. And I do think Bitcoin's going to have another leg, and then probably the altcoin season. I think this season that we're in, it's so hard to tell exactly, right? Everyone's kind of slightly different. I don't know if the 4-year cycles are necessarily a thing as much anymore with the big institutions. We're going to find out sooner than later. But it feels like this whole train could run us into at least Q1 of 2026. A lot of it's going to depend on where Bitcoin tops out, where we get that full rotation into ETH, XRP, Solana, Dogecoin. And in order for retail to come back in droves, what we need is liquidity. And we get liquidity by cutting interest rates. So that's kind of what we're waiting for. And these are kind of the factors that are at play right now for the price of XRP, guys. So I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Again, check out BITUNIX. Great place to trade your XRP. We got great specials running there right now with BITUNIX. Got a bunch of people trading. You're going to love this platform. Crypto.com is another one we've got. And you could take spot positions, leverage positions, and BTCC. So check out all three. Sign up for all three. See which platforms you like. And I appreciate you all for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment down below your price target for XRP the rest of the year. I want to hear from you guys. And obviously subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate you all for watching. See you in the next one.